saw a similar post on Ask Women, and after reading the women's replies, I felt that I, as an unmarried, recently turned 30-year-old man, have had quite a different experience. I'm curious how the rest of you are getting on. Story 1: Good days and bad days. Good. My life is quite relaxed. I don't do anything I don't want to do. In relationships, I find that I do things I don't want to do about 90% of the time. Any girl drama is solved by hitting an unmatch button. I'm putting away 50% of my paychecks into my high-yield savings. I'm able to deep dive into my various hobbies. 3 times gym plus 2 times recreational sports per week is keeping me in great shape. Bad. I catch myself spinning into unhealthy cycles. Work, weed, video games, repeat. I can sense the disappointment in my rapidly aging parents, and it makes me sad. My dream of being a father is slowly getting out of reach. Story 2. Life is not great because I suffer from depression. Sometimes the loneliness has been so unbearable over the years that I thought I wouldn't make it. But now that I'm older, it doesn't matter that much anymore. Story 3. Not great. Mental health is starting to crumble. My job is demanding, and when I'm not on vacation, I end up spending more than 80% of my time awake on work. Family and friends are far away, and I'm more or less estranged from everyone already after years. But yeah, all I can do is try to put in more effort to fix things, no matter how futile everything seems. Story 4. I am 36 years old. Life is good. Business is doing well, and I just bought my absolute dream car. I am so excited. I do not think I have been this way in a long time. It is going to be in my hands next week, hopefully. I have not told anyone except my best friend and you guys now. I work a lot, have many projects going on. I spend time with my friends and family, and I am looking forward to taking my 9-year-old niece to a museum tomorrow. I keep busy in general. The only thing that is challenging is that I cannot afford the time to go on vacation this summer. I might just be able to squeeze in a couple of weekend trips, but that is about it. I will not complain, though. Lots of people are struggling right now, and I am having first-world problems. Story 5. Everything is good. I spent years being gaslit and lied to. It's way easier like this. I have more money than ever. Enjoy the hours of silence after work, and I don't have to impress anybody but myself. It's not that I'm completely opposed to having a girlfriend again one day. I'm just in my early 30s and don't really want to date someone with kids or a range of mental health issues. So, it's probably not in the cards, and I really don't care, to be honest. Story 6. Pretty swimmingly. I like my job, have time for fun hobbies, spend lots of time with friends, and I have a wonderful girlfriend. I could not ask for much more. Story 7. I am now 44 and married, but I was single for most of my 30s. Best time ever. Minimal commitments, enough money to live a comfortable life. Full health. 30 to 35 were the best years of my life. So many great memories. Story 8. Just turned 47 last Thursday, and everything is great. I have my health, I'm getting another raise at work, and I have a lot of cool people and hobbies in my life. Story 9. After 40, it sucks. Everything that used to excite me feels boring. I feel like I'm supposed to have a wife and children in my life to give me structure. I'm happy that I was single throughout my 30s. I had a ton of fun, but I'd encourage every man to get married before 40. Story 10. Not bad. Steady employment. Learn to respect myself enough to not waste my time on women who thrive in negativity. I have fun with my social circle. The last year was rough. A failed relationship with a woman who was incredibly lazy and not self-sufficient. A failed relationship with a narcissist who did her best to socially destroy me, but she kind of played herself. Had to be the medical power of attorney and be by my dad's side for 2 months and make hard decisions. I have a great group of friends, got promoted at work, lost a ton of weight. Seeing someone now, it may or may not go somewhere, but at least she's a good and kind person. My life could be worse. Story 11. It's all right. I have quite a bit of money saved up. Not the best paying job, but it's decent, plus pension and benefits. I still live at home, though, which has its ups and downs. I have more than enough for a down payment, but where I live, housing prices are crazy, and even for a small condo, it costs a fortune. I could definitely do it, but then I would certainly be living paycheck to paycheck, which would be difficult. So I guess I'm fortunate enough to be able to live at home, but it also feels disappointing knowing most of my friends are married and own a home or condo while I'm just here. The way I look at it, it could always be worse, so it is what it is. I'm also tired of people telling me to get a girlfriend and that it's selfish of me being single. Listen, I don't mind being single, but it certainly isn't a choice. And it's not like I can just go down to the girlfriend store and get a girlfriend. People who never had to or haven't done online dating apps in a while have no idea what it's like. I wouldn't mind meeting someone and getting in a relationship, but if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, and I am content with that. Story 12. Mental health is a bit of a shamble. The financial situation is not great, but I have a roof over my head, food in the fridge, great friends, and the most amazing son any parent could ask for. Story 13. I have a job and career that I like. I have savings and no credit card debt. I'm adding to my retirement. I exercise regularly and focus on relaxing. I can't complain too much. My fridge and pantry are full, and things are pretty good. I don't need somebody else to make me happy. Story 14. Outwardly, I'm doing well, good job, close friends, some hobbies, relatively fit. On the inside, I'm so lonely that I often break into tears. I try my best and often succeed in finding value in my other relationships. I especially love hanging out with my best friend's kids. But some nights, my empty apartment is just depressing and has me ruminating on the choices that led to me being alone at 38. Story 15. 43 years old and never married. I wake up whenever I want, stroll into the kitchen, make a cup of coffee with my favorite coffee, and then either head to the pool or porch. I sit down, relax, scroll through my phone, and listen to my own music or whatever else I want. When I'm hungry, I'll get up and make whatever I want in my kitchen. I peacefully think about what I want to do with my time for the rest of the day. I do the house chores whenever I feel like it. Eventually, I get dressed and take care of any errands that need to be done, usually going to the gym. I go to the grocery store, decide what I want to eat for dinner, cook dinner, and then proceed again to the pool, porch, or fire pit to listen to music and drink as many beers as I want. Usually, some friends join me at this point, both male and female. We have a great conversation until midnight or so, then peacefully go to bed and do it all over again. No complaining, no fighting over money, no one telling me what I can and can't do. It's truly awesome. Story 16. I'm not sure how the women responded, but I will say that one of the differences between men and women over 30 and not married is that, on average, most online women tend to respond in one of two ways. 1. They get defensive and act like such an inquiry was an insult, or 2. They exude overconfidence in how happy they are and stress that everything they are experiencing is and was their choice, which comes from the woman's need to feel psychologically in control of their lives and feel like admitting publicly that they are miserable would be admitting defeat. Contrast this with men, who I also don't know how they responded here because I haven't read any replies, who, 1. Will take this question as just a question and not some deviously worded trick question meant to insult them, and won't be offended by you asking, and 2. Will be more likely to tell it like it is, and if they are happy, sure they're happy, but if they're miserable or frustrated, they'll just say so. To get to the question asked, I'm married but know some men and women over 30 who are not. 3 out of 4 women are miserable but try to exude confidence and happiness, putting on a show in public, while the 1 in 4 really is by all measures successful and happy. Of the men I know over 30 not married, both are usually content but can be up and down, sometimes very excited and other times quite frustrated or upset about something or bordering on depression. The grass is always greener, as they say. If you are married long enough, you see the bad aspects and forget about the good parts and wish you could do certain things you did as single more. If you were single, you see the bad parts of it and think if you could just find the right person to marry, most of your frustrations would go away. The truth is often somewhere in the middle. Story 17. Pretty naff. I'm 34, just separated from the girl I thought I'd grow old with about 2 months ago. Her choice, not mine. Currently selling the house we bought together. I'm in a unique situation where I feel like there's a strong chance I'll be alone for a long time, so I'm just trying to make peace with that. Story 18. Peeked over there. Predictably, They picked up on a single word in the post and focused on that instead of answering the question. This is pretty telling about how they really feel about it. Then again, it's probably not about the nail. I have to say it's a lot like how I wanted life in my 20s to go. I feel a decade behind. When women say, "You wasted the best years of my life," I kind of get it. I wasted my time with subpar women while my self-esteem was low and while I struggled with communication. Another part of how life is that I wanted my 20s to go, women in their 20s. They're more responsive, if that's the word. But I feel a bit creepy about it because when I was in my 20s, seeing my peers interact with men in their 30s and wondering what the heck makes me wonder the same about myself. Story 19. I am 31. A 4-year relationship ended 9 months ago. I moved out, got a new job, and I am in the best physical shape I've ever been in. Everything seems good, but none of it makes me happy. I really would just love to have a family. Story 20. Good. I'm in the middle of wedding planning, so I will be married by this time next year. I just turned 30, so I will be 30 on my wedding day. I own my own home, have a stable, decent-paying job, a car, and so on. I have taken up golf and running recently, so I have been enjoying working at those. Story 21. I do have access to intimacy through some friends with benefits, so I feel like I can focus on my career and not dwell on the fact that I haven't found the right one yet. If I weren't being intimate with anyone and alone every night, it would probably cause a serious case of loneliness. Story 22. Messed up, poor health, scarred by upbringing and traumas. Just starting to heal. I do this insanely hard job I prepared for my whole life, sacrificed everything I had, hoped it would be the way out. However, it is becoming a soul-crushing meat grinder. No matter I am on top of it. Takes its toll too. Unrelated to the job, the only good thing is that I could retire already and live on a beach like in heaven. Do nothing, eat, drink, surf, and ride bikes. Thinking about it more and more often. Story 23. I am doing great. Life was crazy for me until last year. I lived the rock and roll lifestyle. Sold cars and anything of value, blew a small fortune, and distorted every relationship. I am thankful I did not put more people through the hurricane of my life. Life is amazing, and I am grateful for the adventure of my life. Story 24. Loneliness can be challenging sometimes, but I'm making decent money right now, allowing me to do what I want when I want. As long as vacation is approved at work, I'm good to go. I've already been to 3 conventions this year, and Comic-Con is on the horizon. It's a bonus having married but childless friends to go with. No asking permission or getting slack because I should be doing something else. Also, my weekends are my own to just chill and play video games or do something more productive of my choice. So many people at work say, "Ugh, I have to take the kids to do things this weekend." That sounds awful. I'll be eating Wingstop and playing World of Warcraft all day Saturday. Story 25. Yet, I'm not going to get married. Never once had any inclination or reason to do so. Life is good. Where does this assumption come from that you're either married or in a relationship or that you want to be? It's not the 1950s, man. There's no social pressure to do that sort of thing anymore. Just live your life. Story 26. Pretty okay, but definitely dealing with the wrong kind of women, and it sucks. I feel like I have to strip myself so much for other people, and honestly, I just wish dating was still fun. Everyone I have met lately just has a stick up their ass. Me too, probably, but at least I am working on it. I'm at the point I don't even want to respond to people. Story 27. Like the person who posted, there are good days and bad days, but unhealthy cycles can be very controlled. I have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and having a gym work we cigarettes wine game series routine is somewhat good for my discipline. I am the youngest 42 of 4 siblings, and my parents, we recently discovered that autism runs high in our family, are quite content despite the fact that we are learning about ourselves again. I have 2 nephews and 2 nieces, and they just want us to be happy without any addictions that might ruin our lives. Being a father is not my priority. I have kind of gotten used to solitude, but if any of you want to reach this solitude, I really can't recommend enough. Get a dog and a cat. Solitude is cool, but no one is an island. Loneliness will grip you when you are most vulnerable and make you feel miserable unless you are well-versed in existential philosophy, and pets really help with that. They are quite sensitive and will comfort you with their love until you feel better. Single, alone, solitary, and solitude are completely different things. Reaching solitude is both comfortable and scary. It requires a lot of mental strength and some compromises that you can't take back. It's a way of life that not everyone can just choose and pursue. Keep in mind that you will be your own enemy should you choose solitude. Establish personal goals. No game library can handle gaming burnout. Learn Japanese, get a motorcycle and be your own mechanic, learn to cook, learn to draw, read 50 pages a day. But for the love of all that is good, don't try to do everything at once. Have a schedule just as you have a routine. Be a better you at your own pace. Don't forget your sexual urges. It is okay to go to escorts, and it is okay to have toys, but human contact, even though artificial or transactional, can be good for your mental health. And a final warning. Once you reach the comfortable status, you may become cold as winter and never compromise. Be aware of that and try to compromise at least 5% if you feel the need to. I have friends who were like monks for 10 years, but they found a partner, and even though they never changed anything that wasn't bad in their perception, they made it very clear to their partners.